Welcome to War Chronicle, where history's battles, strategies, and untold stories come alive. From ancient battlefields to modern warfare, we uncover the events that shaped nations and changed the world forever. In the late 1960s, NATO radar screens picked up a mysterious Soviet jet flying at unprecedented speeds and altitudes. Western intelligence was stunned. They had never seen anything like it. This was the Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-25, codenamed Foxbat by NATO, designed to counter the threat of high-speed American bombers and reconnaissance aircraft. The Foxbat became one of the fastest military jets ever built, and a symbol of Soviet engineering ambition during the Cold War. Cold War context: why the MiG-25 was born? By the late 1950s, the United States was developing extremely fast. High-flying aircraft like the B-70 Valkyrie bomber and the SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance jet. These aircraft could fly higher and faster than most interceptors of the era, potentially rendering Soviet air defenses useless. The Soviet Air Force needed a plane that could fly at Mach 2.8 to 3.0 over 3,000 kilometers per hour, operate at altitudes above 70,000 feet 21 kilometers, intercept enemy bombers before they could launch nuclear strikes. The answer came in 1964 when the Mikoyan Design Bureau began working on the MiG-25. Design and technology. Speed over maneuverability. The MiG-25 was built for extreme performance, not agility. Engines. Two massive Tumansky, or 15 turbojets, originally developed for cruise missiles, gave the Foxbat unmatched speed. Airframe, made mostly of nickel steel alloy, not titanium like the SR-71, to withstand high temperatures at supersonic speeds. Radar. The RP-25 Smercha radar, one of the largest ever fitted to a fighter. Weapons. Typically armed with R-40AA-6 Acrid air missiles, capable of destroying targets at extreme altitudes. MiG-25 could hit speeds of Mach 3.2, but sustained flight at that speed would overheat and damage the engines. Officially, it was limited to Mach 2.8. Record-breaking achievements: the Foxbat set 29 world records for speed, altitude, and time to climb in the 1960s and 1970s. In 1977, MiG-25 reached 123,520 feet, 37,650 meters, a record for jet-powered aircraft that still stands for operational fighters. It could climb to 20,000 meters in just under 3 minutes. First combat in real-world performance: the MiG-25 saw combat in several wars. Middle East, operated by Egypt and Syria against Israel in the 1970s. Israeli pilots called it Silver Arrow for its incredible speed. Iraq War, 1980 to 1988, used by Iraq for reconnaissance and interception. Gulf War, 1991, an Iraqi MiG-25 shot down a U.S. Navy Fa-18 Hornet on the first night of the war, one of the few air-to-air victories for Iraq. However, the Foxbat's poor maneuverability and limited avionics meant it struggled in dogfights against more agile fighters like the F-15. The defection that shook the USSR. In 1976, Soviet pilot Viktor Belenko defected to Japan in his MiG-25, allowing Western experts to examine the aircraft for the first time. They were surprised. While it was not as technologically advanced as feared, sheer speed and altitude capability were unmatched. Legacy. The MiG-25 was eventually replaced by the MiG-31 Foxhound, which kept the high-speed, high-altitude capability, but added advanced radar and long-range missile systems. Still, the Foxbat remains an icon of Cold War aviation, a jet built not for elegance, but for raw power and speed. The battle may be over, but history never rests. Subscribe to War Chronicle and march with us into the next untold story of war and courage.